So before the wall broke, we were a socialist country. It's like communism, but not as good. And basically most people were, they lived good lives, but like it took you 10 years to get a car. Bananas weren't here. We didn't have bananas.
I heard that, yeah. Someone told us earlier, like, only rich people could get bananas.
Yes, it's true. It's true. And after the wall broke, and basically the late 90s and early 2000s, there was like a big boom of technology, and from the West, we got good mobile phones, computers were everywhere pretty much. And the country, like I think the country now, Bulgaria, is more up to date with everything else. Hello.
Oh, Omen.
My name is Jake Omen. I'm a professional wrestler, a world traveler, and a coach. I want to learn about every culture, have a cup of coffee or a dinner or a night out at a nightclub with people with no shared language, and wrestling is my passport to do just that. Pro wrestling might be silly to some, and I might often be found guilty of taking my sport too seriously, but regardless, it's brought me to 40 countries so far and allowed me to build some of the most important relationships in my life. It's allowed me to gain more knowledge, wisdom, and empathy than I ever thought possible. And I'm thrilled that you can take just a little bit of that journey with me.
It is a very messy Sunday morning at 8:15 as I drive from Indianapolis to Cincinnati, and actually more like Chicago to Cincinnati, because I was in Chicago last night for a show and I got out of there at 10:30 p.m. Eastern time, and I didn't get home to Indianapolis until about 2:30 after a couple stops with air in the tire and grab some energy drinks and some snacks and stuff just to stay awake. And it was a messy drive home. It's just like it's a messy drive right now. And got myself 2 hours of sleep, and now I have to meet my friends Jack and Aaron at Jack's in Cincinnati, and we have a flight out of CVG to get us to Bulgaria by Monday at 2 p.m. And I'm pumped because Bulgaria just opened up their first wrestling school 2 months ago, and they're training a bunch of young aspiring wrestlers from scratch, and we get to be a part of that. And we get to help form the foundation of the independent wrestling scene in Bulgaria, and that's just a real meaningful thing to me. And nowadays I thrive on the more obscure things to put on my resume, and the fact that these are a lot of guys that probably thought they would never get an opportunity to try and get into the wrestling business, being from a place that doesn't have a scene, and now like they can make it happen. So myself and Jack Vaughn and Aaron Williams can play a huge role in that, and they've been bringing in different coaches every week to coach for like 3 days. They're bringing in guys like my buddy Red Scorpion in Italy, and James Mason, who we were lucky enough to spend a week with last year in England doing camp shows, and we're bringing Michael Kovac from Austria. So, and they're like doing big things to try to make that scene start off on the right foot. And really thrilled to be a part. And then after 4 or 5 days in Bulgaria, we get to go to Poland.
Also got that new license thing.
A roughly 18-hour travel day started bright and early on our Sunday morning in Cincinnati. And without any direct flights to Sofia, Bulgaria from Cincinnati, we had 2 layovers, a small stop in Detroit, and a slightly longer stop in London Heathrow. Luckily, with our 3 different flights it took us to get to Sofia, we didn't get too disrupted. We only had 1 small flight delay. Unfortunately, we couldn't say the same thing about our way back to Cincinnati at the end of our trip, where we ended up missing 1 flight entirely. Our reservations got split into 2, and 2 of us arrived back via Detroit, and the other one through Minneapolis.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to run right in front of you. All right, the boys just landed, and we are here with
If you could say who you are.
Hello, my name is Elto, and I'm the guy who started the wrestling school here in Bulgaria.
And what's that been like?
Oh, it's been incredible, man. Like this community that I always dreamt of having in Bulgaria. The young people training, you see the fire in their eyes. They're progressing rapidly. We're on our way to actually establish a scene here, which was unthinkable at some point.
Heck yeah.
And everyone was very excited.
And what was the advice that other people gave you getting into this?
Yeah, I first got involved in wrestling in the UK in NGW. The very first guy I met in NGW, it was Dougie. He took care of the school. He built the sets at some point for NGW shows. When I first walked into the school, he was the first one to greet me. Very first piece of advice he gave me, don't do it. Because I was thinking about it at the time, starting wrestling in Bulgaria. He told me not to do it, and here I am breaking the very first advice I ever got. Yeah.
Why'd he tell you not to?
Because he said it wasn't worth it. He said wrestling wasn't worth it. What do you guys think?
Ooh. Yeah, I disagree with that one.
I wouldn't be here if it wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
So I'm here. It was.
Aaron.
Shoot, man, most of the good things I got in life is because of wrestling. So
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Man, everywhere cool I've ever been, man.
We all have our complaints about wrestling, but at the end of the day, it's like, can't imagine life without it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but here we want to build something sustainable. Fuck the shows, man. The shows can wait. We're having a school now. We know the investment is going to be there.
While we started our journey from Cincinnati on Sunday morning, we arrived in Sofia late in their afternoon on Monday night. Meeting Elto at the airport, he got us on some trains and he walked us to the flat where we'd be staying for the week. It was located in a great area of town, a very multicultural area called the Women's Market, which is the largest still functioning market in all of Sofia. And it's located in the middle of a lot of churches. So in the 19th century, this market was founded by sheer convenience, and still to this day is busy almost every day. Starting around 10 or 11 in the morning, everyone opens up their shop. So it's a very cool location to be in. Since we didn't have a lot of time left in that day, the sun set pretty quickly. We decided we would go out, tourist about just a little bit, but mainly find ourselves a grocery so we could stock up for the week. So we went ahead and scoured the streets for a little while, saw some of the beautiful sights that were within a few city blocks of us, and then we found ourselves a grocery store, which is always fun to navigate in another country, especially since the alphabet in Bulgaria is the Cyrillic alphabet. So there's no Latin characters to be found except for the ones that are just coincidental hidden in there. So that was an experience in itself. As our night slowed down, it started snowing in the area of the town we were staying in. It was really lovely. We watched some good wrestling to fall asleep to, and then we started our Tuesday morning bright and early, a little bit earlier than I think the general populace of Bulgaria usually operates. We found ourselves a good gym. We saw all the tourist sites that would be within a pretty close walking distance, and we decided we would just go ahead and get to work. So luckily, 3 or 4 city blocks away, we found a really cool gym called the Y Squared Gym. When we got there, though, we needed the woman at the front desk to help us out. It took us a while to find the building, and it would have been impossible to actually find our way to the gym because it was like a maze down 2 or 3 floors around corners. We went through like 7 different doors just to try to find this gym. Luckily, the woman, even though she didn't speak any English, took one look at us, saw our bags in our hand, and knew that we were obviously gym people. So we were able to get a good lift in, which is paramount, especially given our ages after so much travel and our bodies are locked up. We also got to learn that weightlifting is the national sport of Bulgaria because the really awesome dude who ran the gym told us all about it. After we left the gym, we grabbed some lunch. We also found this great pastry shop here with baklava for dirt cheap, so we did buy ourselves a bunch of post-workout baklava. This is us walking back to where we were staying. This is the other side of the women's market. As we were touristing around, one of the things we appreciated the most was the awesome street art, the graffiti here in Sofia. In fact, there were several signs on buildings advertising for the Sofia street art tour. And we debated whether or not we could do that. I think we looked up the time, and it actually would have conflicted with when we had to go to training, which was around 7 or 7:30 every night. Our buddy Nick picked us up around 6 or so, took us to the training hall, which is this really cool boxing club. And we had 3 days to coach, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We had three of us coaching, so we each took our own day. Jack took day one here. Here's him showing some of the fundamentals, some of the basic lockups and stuff like that. Aaron would take day two. I would take day three. So that was great. We had 3 hour sessions. On each day, we had in the neighborhood of 15 to 25 people.
Take that right arm on the other. Put your left foot forward. And basically, the lockup. Things are kind of like
Yeah, my name is Teo. I'm 24, born and raised in Sofia, Bulgaria. And yeah, I've been a fan of wrestling since I was a very young kid, like 8, 9 years old. Yeah, that's pretty much my dream right now. Yeah.
Sweet. So, what does pro wrestling mean to you?
It's
a big
pretty
question.
Much, it is a big question. It's pretty much my childhood dream. You know, I've always watched wrestlers since I was a kid, and I've been amazed with, with the sport overall, and I always wanted to try it myself. So it's just, yeah, I've been impressed with the characters, with the moves that they do, and I want to try it myself, see how it's like. Yeah.
Sweet. How do you feel about the wrestling scene here in Bulgaria?
I mean, it's pretty exciting. I personally never thought something like this would happen here, but 2 years ago we had our first seminar. One of the few Bulgarian wrestlers, Damien Tangra, he actually made the seminar and actually made this whole thing possible. He started the whole thing, and that was 2 years ago, and now we have a wrestling school, which is pretty exciting.
Thank you. What do you think about having outside coaches come in to teach you guys?
That is great, in my opinion. It's just different coaches, and to just get so much experience. They just coaches from all over the world, pretty much. Like you guys are from America specifically. We got coaches from Italy, from England. There are gonna come some coaches. It's from the Great Britain overall. So, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Sweet. What is something you love about Bulgaria and Sofia?
Bulgaria and Sofia. Well,
It can be whatever.
In
It doesn't have to-
Bulgaria,
it can be whatever you want.
Yeah. In Bulgaria specifically, I think we have a great nature. Like I love to go specifically to the mountains. Just mountain climbs, stuff like that. I enjoy doing that. And yeah, we have amazing food. I love the food, and I love the people. Although I think we're cool as a nation. So yeah, I enjoy. I love to live in my country specifically.
Cool. What is something you don't like about
About Bulgaria?
Yeah.
About politics.
Politics?
Politics, yeah. I think that's why our country should think it's somewhat bad in terms of politics, but just people don't really care about the country. Everybody trying to get away as quick as possible, and I think if more people stay here, I think we can make it better.
I heard a lot of young people trying to leave.
Yeah.
Like the focus is to leave. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Cool. Why did you feel it was important to attend the seminars with us this week?
Because I want to learn. I mean, all the shows that I have watched are pretty much from America, and now to have, American wrestlers coming here, it's just exciting to get even more experience. I've had just one training for you guys, and I have learned a lot, to be honest. So can't wait to see what the next few trainings are going to be like. Yeah.
Sweet. What is your goal in pro wrestling?
I mean, I want to be a wrestler. I want to travel around Europe, kind of like you guys, just trying to travel around the world and just get as much experience as possible.
Where's the pressure here? I mean, if you straighten that arm, you'd have something.
It was similar to a hammer lock, just he was beside him. That's a right side headlock.
That is, sure is.
Yeah, that's a sweet headlock.
As our second day in Bulgaria wound down, our post-day one training wound down around 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. We did what all professional wrestlers do when they are in groups, which is watch bad wrestling. Has to be a universal thing. It's a thing all over the world. We have to put on bad wrestling just To clarify, we were watching bad American wrestling. I'm not going to put anyone on blast. It's just a thing that especially good wrestlers do. And we decided, of course, we just have to do this regardless of the location we're in. So here we are in Bulgaria, watching bad American indie wrestling and critiquing.
That's how you do it.
The next day, Wednesday morning, our new friend Nick, who picked us up for Tuesday night's training, decided he would tour guide us around for the day. So he met us over at our flat and we started our walk, which ended up being probably 10 miles for the day. We went through a couple different parks. We walked down Potosha Boulevard, which is the main shopping street and main street with restaurants and everything like that, right down the heart of Sofia. He also introduced us to a lot of the local cuisine. Right here we have Banitsa and Boja. Banitsa is like a fluffy pastry with like a cheese inside, which is delicious. Boja is the drink that you drink with it, which is a fermented wheat drink. It seems like you're drinking like a fermented wheat milk. It's a very obscure taste. Apparently lots of health benefits and everything like that. Also very high in sugar though. He also took us to a traditional Bulgarian restaurant right here. So here we are eating a couple different things. I hate that I can't remember the name of this right here. What we were doing is we're breaking a bread. We take this yellow cream sauce, you put it on the bread, and then you put on this seasoning, and then you eat that, and it's really delicious. There were also a lot of great things to choose from the menu, a few obscure things. So I chose kind of like a obscure lamb stew, which ended up not being nearly as good as I had hoped it was. It was like very fatty and very gamey. I probably should have asked a few more clarifying questions. So to me, the best part of the meal here, honestly, was this bread with this sauce and this seasoning. In fact, I'm going to message Nick after recording this and ask him what the name of it was. But it was really cool, and it was really awesome for him to take us to this place, because when you're traveling, you don't want to go to what seem like very touristy locations. You want to go to places where the food is accurate. You want to eat what the locals eat, and you want to eat how the locals eat. And that is so important. So having a man on the ground that can direct us exactly where we need to go is great. Day 2 of training was an Aaron Williams day. Aaron is a striking master, so it was very much a striking-based course for that day. So this was day 2. Here's a glimpse of some of the training that Aaron put the guys and gals through.
Forte, like how you hit people safely and believably in professional wrestling. Also, the overall psychology of striking in wrestling, because it is often overutilized or underutilized. Because for reasons like that, like you want to give them as much as you possibly can to garner you yourself not getting hurt and them being like, I don't know what to do. Yeah. It's going to take $1 million to get a $4 Yeah. Now you're there. I pick you up, and then down. Relax it. Relax. Keep this kind of stick just like that. Now I'm here. Now stay down. Strikes, right? Make every strike mean a little bit more. Right? So this one's the first one's fun. Now we need something. I'm in control right here. Boom. Here's the second one. Look at me.
Yeah, my name is Giuliano. I was born and raised in Sardinia, in Italy, but I've been living in Sofia for the last 10 years, and I'm 36 years old, yes.
Sweet. Yeah, starting a little older than some of the people you're probably training with, yeah?
Yeah, I need to catch up with the young guys, actually.
Do you feel like you have to?
Yes, I do feel, in general, because I've played as a goalkeeper in soccer for all my life, until I got a bit tired of that. But I always realized that flexibility wasn't my forte, so that's the big challenge that I have lately.
With pro wrestling training so far, what have you found you have in common with, say, soccer, football?
Definitely the bumps, because especially as a goalkeeper, you need to fall a lot. You need to how to fall in order to absorb the hit on the ground. And also, the difference here is that you need to understand how to fall in different ways. But in football, it's pretty much just one way. But you have a ball in your hand, so you cannot use your hands on how to fall. You need to rely on your back, but pretty much, or your shoulders, which is the most injury-prone part of your body.
So what are some of the differences? You said flexibility is a big one.
Yeah, to be honest, yeah, because in football, they always say that if you fly a lot as a goalkeeper, it means that you don't have a good position. So you need to just stay on the spot. But when you have to fly, you need to just to be explosive and just to jump from one post to the other.
Yeah, that's cool. Very cool. What does pro wrestling mean to you?
Well, my long-time passion.
Yeah.
I started with watching wrestling when I was a teenager, pretty much 20 years ago, and started from WWE to TNA back in the days, and then all the indies around. So let's say it's my weekly commitment as a spectator, and now as a trainee.
Hell yeah, man! Hell yeah! How do you feel about the wrestling scene here in Bulgaria?
It has potential. There are a lot of guys that I'm training with who have a lot of talent, and we see the good thing is that there is a lot of interest, a lot of camaraderie, very good chemistry between everybody, so it definitely can go very well.
Oh yeah, very cool. Now, what is something you love about Bulgaria, Sofia?
It's a place in which gave me a lot of opportunities in terms of working career, musical career as a musician, and now wrestling. So that's something I like. It's a capital city, so even if it tends to be smaller compared to others, it's still a place where you can achieve a lot.
Nice. What is something you don't like about Bulgaria?
So I would say that sometimes people tend to be, let's say, too pessimistic about the place itself and themselves and the potential, while on the other hand, it's a place which can have a lot of value. And as a foreigner, I can just confirm that.
Yeah, hell yeah. And what's your goal in wrestling?
Well, it's a personal challenge, so overcome my boundaries and the personal, let's say, mental limitation that I've had until a couple of years ago. And let's see how far I can go, considering that until 3-4 years ago, I didn't even know how to do a basic roll because I was scared of my neck. I just want to, let's say, prove that I can still improve despite not being that young anymore.
Cool. Why did you feel it was important to attend our seminars this week?
Well, it's getting as much as from different approaches. So far we trained from the basics, but something that we haven't discussed is ring psychology and more, let's say a technique which is more new school compared to the old school, just to perfect everything that we've done so far.
After training day 2, the boys and I tried to take in some of the sights at night where everything's lit up in a bit different of a way, a little more aesthetically pleasing way for some of the different awesome locations, especially like Alexander Nevsky Cathedral, which is gorgeous. And I'd actually been to the other Alexander Nevsky Cathedral in Tallinn as well, which also gorgeous. I think Sofia is definitely trumps it. So we rounded up the night Wednesday evening rather after training day 2. We went into the next morning. We once again hit the gym, which was great. Y squared. Anyone who's curious, Bulgaria, very cash-based society, still uses the leva, which is about 2 leva to $1 US, and it was 10 leva for the day pass there. We ended up hitting up a couple different coffee shops while we were there. I didn't get footage in all of them. This one here was really sick. It was called Coffee Syndicate. They had a lot of very interesting flavored pastries, a lot of very interesting drinks. So normally when I'm a black coffee guy, I actually tried a completely different kind of fruitier drink while we were here. That blueberry kind of scone thing, I wish I could describe in better detail. Super, super interesting. We also found a couple different sites of different ruins. Obviously, Bulgaria is the country this has existed the longest in Europe, especially named the same name as of today. So Thursday, we knew it was going to be our last day around. We touristed around even more. This is once again the women's market from the opposite side. Actually, the side we entered and exited when we went to the gym or to the back of the shop right across the street.
I'm Alex. I'm 24, and I'm an art student.
Beautiful.
Hello, I'm Kobe. I'm 25, and my dream is to become a wrestler. I'm an influencer.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
Once again.
Oh, please, I got you yesterday, man. Yeah, just give me your name, yeah.
Okay, my name is Giuliano. I'm from Italy. I'm 36.
Perfect.
My name is Angel. I'm 27, and I study for IT currently.
Hell yeah.
My name is Nikla, 27. I'm a maths teacher and a lot more horrible stuff.
Hell yeah.
Hello, I'm Stanislav. I'm 26 and I'm currently just focusing on becoming a professional wrestler.
Oh yeah. And this is your first week, right?
It is my first week, my third day, yes.
Perfect. So your first day was with us.
Yeah.
All right, sweet, man. Well, yeah, hopefully you had a good first week experience.
You guys are very cool, yeah.
We'll ask you about that
I'm blessed,
later.
I'm blessed.
Cool, cool. Cool, let's go. Hey man, what does pro wrestling mean to you?
It's a way of expressing yourself, be it as a fan or being in the ring. So surely there are a lot of things that you can do and enjoy it in a lot of different ways. And the thing is that the scene is so huge and so big, and there's something for everyone to find something that they see themselves in.
Oh yeah, cool, cool. Tell us a little bit about the scene or lack thereof in Bulgaria.
Oh, there is none.
None? Yeah.
Yeah, as we did like a big, not the bravado, but I don't know how to call it, but in the first training, we were yelling like, we're writing history, because we really are. This is a first thing in Bulgaria, and we're literally, well, the first wrestlers that will wrestle in Bulgaria.
Yeah.
Which is historical, because this never happened in the past, and this is first time. And you are the first actually coaches from another continent who come here. To train us. So this is a great opportunity to be able to train wrestling and to do what we all dreamed of doing when we were little kids. Because just a little bit more, as far as I know, like in America there are a lot of schools, so you just if you want to become a wrestler, you can just find a school and just go from there. Well, here we don't have that luxury, and you have to either forgo your family and your relationships and go abroad, or you just give up on your dream, or just wait. Yeah, and luckily, Elto and Tangra made this possible. So we're very thankful.
Cool. We'll go Kobe. Well, what's your goal in wrestling, man?
What's my goal? One day to wrestle. You know, we have big wrestlers. One of them is really huge. He's in the WWE, was in the WWE, now he's in AEW, which is another big company. So yeah, one day I want to wrestle Miro. One day I want to wrestle Metu or Damien. I want to wrestle some of our guys. I don't think I'll reach the World Wrestling Federation, but who knows? In wrestling, you told me everything is possible.
For sure.
So yeah, for now, I just want to wrestle our huge names like Miro, aka Rusev.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's a big goal.
Oh yeah. Very cool. Very cool. What does it mean to have outside trainers and coaches coming in trying to help you guys out?
Oh, it's it's actually incredible. On a real quick side note,
Yeah,
I
please.
actually, when I was 19, I went all the way to Australia to train wrestling.
Sick.
It was a crazy teenage dream. So actually, now being in Bulgaria, to have outside influence is actually incredible, and it's literally priceless, because if we wanted to come to you to teach, to learn from you, as Angel said, that would mean no family, no friends, no social contacts from our circles, and it would mean that we'd need to go all the way into nothing.
Might cost you thousands of dollars to go do,
It's expensive. So actually, to have the opportunity to get the world-class training while we're here and to make the history for the first ever Bulgarian wrestling company, it's an incredible opportunity. So we are very thankful.
Oh yeah, cool. What's something you guys love about Bulgaria, Sofia?
No, I'm not from Sofia, but
Bulgaria, this part of the world.
Bulgaria in general. The one thing, it's a bit weird probably, but it's the fact that it's a small country and it has like a lot of stuff. Like we have a seaside, we have mountains, we have forests. So you want to go hiking, go to the mountain. You want to go to the beach, just 4 hours drive and you're there from the one side of the country to the other one. So I really like this about the country. It's something like special.
Probably for Sofia it's the inclusivity, because the city is big and a lot of people, especially from Bulgaria, not only come here for a lot of reasons and they find their place here. So nobody, I think, feels out of place here, and there is so much diversity between people, activities, interests, and so on. So there is something for everyone, basically.
Very cool. You guys flown anywhere and gotten to go to any independent shows in Europe? You've been around a little, around a little bit. Shows in Italy? Hell yeah.
I've only been to a house show for the WWE a few years ago.
Nice.
Yeah.
Was it here?
No, it was in the O2 in England.
Oh, sweet.
I went there, yeah. It was
Hell
really
yeah.
nice.
I actually was in Wales for Clash at the Castle pay-per-view.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, it was my first time going to a wrestling show. And it was a dream come true. I saw Drew McIntyre, saw Rey Mysterio, saw Edge, one of my favorites. And yeah, that was an experience I will never forget.
Heck yeah, great. So when you guys start up shows, maybe next September, those will be the first independent wrestling shows you've pretty much been to, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick. Cool. Any plans to try, once you graduate, to go abroad, like further in Europe, to go wrestle yourself?
Of course.
Yeah, probably.
And some goals? Just you can all throw them out at the same time. Any goals, any places you want to go?
I would like to go England.
England?
To the States, of course, maybe Japan. Australia is booming now. So.
Hell yeah.
And I think before opening all the doors, or most of them, it's a really good opportunity to just focus here locally and then expand and so on. But probably the success of everything here will be the thing that we're going to be the most proud of, especially since we're being the first group that is graduating here.
Hell yeah. Dope.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Training day 3 on Thursday evening was the day that I officially led class with my general ideas every day. I warmed up the team almost every day before Jack and Aaron took over, since I've been running the school for quite a long time. I try to do a bit different warm-up every single day, just so they would have a lot of variety for the future, where they could try a bunch of different things, find out what they like, find out what they're lacking, and what they need to work on. My stuff was very wrestling-specific based movements, body language, ring positioning, things like that. Stuff that, unless you're in the professional wrestling business, you would find very boring, but however, very practical. And then to sum up everything at the very end, Jack, Aaron, and I all had a conversation with everybody, Q&As, wanted to know the stuff we could help with, kind of last second before we leave, stuff they were curious about. And then Jack also gave the lowdown on how to operate social media conducive to professional wrestling and how to advance your career, which is super fascinating, even to guys like Aaron and me.
Like when they see yeah. And that's how it is with wrestling. If you're out of sight, you're out of mind. If promoters, if other wrestlers, if bookers are not seeing you, then they can't think about you when it
Kind of what you were going with.
Guys, today, this whole week was so amazing. We learned so much. The thing that I appreciate the most while I'm meeting my Greek heroes here.
Hell yeah.
We got so much important information. It's not just always doing moves, it's why you do these moves. We learned so much, just positioning in the ring, the layout of the ring, the important information, how to sell, social media advice from Mr. Vaughn over here.
Oh yeah.
And from the man behind the camera right now, I learned how to do a kip up. I never thought I would be able to do a fucking kip up. I'm so thankful to all of you. And if any of you see this and want to become professional wrestlers, and you're interested in becoming a professional wrestler, please contact Mr. Jake, contact Mr. Jack, Vaughn, or Aaron.
If you're in Bulgaria, you tell them where to find them at Wrestling Academy.
Yeah, we're here in Bulgaria. The place where there's no professional wrestling, we just started this academy this year, 2 months ago. And we've done so much. We're full. There's professional wrestling fans. It's full right now. Guys, wave.
We finished up our Sofia experience with an impromptu after party and deep impression sesh at the Giro Land. Had some good times, pictures, traded all our information, all that. And then, of course, we got stopped and harassed by the cops a few times on the way home, but that didn't kill the buzz from the incredible week.
Yeah.
Dougie, if you ever see this, happiness in wrestling may be possible. I've learned a lot from you, but we're yet to find out if I regret breaking your very first advice.
Right. You never really know what you're getting into until you actually dive deep into the heart of it and you get into someone's situation. And I didn't know what to expect from Sofia, Bulgaria. I had read a lot about it, and I was a history major in college, so I knew some of the bullet points, and I watched a whole lot of YouTube, but you never really know what you're getting into until you get there. And for a place that's bounced back and forth under several different empires and been under control of several different big general ideas and communism and everything like that, and you read about the government corruption, and you just wonder, I wonder if this has, made its way down to every single person in the community, and these people might be depressed or rude or mean. And why on earth would so many young people be fleeing their country in the highest amount in Europe? So maybe you'd think you wouldn't feel very welcome in such a place. And that is the complete opposite of what I felt when we were in Sofia. What a magnificent city, and what wonderful people, and everybody that interacted with us was beyond appreciative and kind and giving. We were met at the airport by the owner of the company, Elto, who jumped on the train right there with us and bought our tickets and took us to our flat and made sure we got checked in, and the place was satisfactory for us, as if we wouldn't have been happy sleeping on one of the wrestling students' floors, 3 people to 6 square feet, and he, after training, made sure that we got food, and even when he was working late and couldn't be at training, asked if we wanted to DoorDash food, or him to DoorDash food to us. And that's not something he has to do, but that's what he just did as a person. And one of the wrestling students, Nick, who showed us all around town on Wednesday, he took us into his family's little corner mart and had his dad make us a cup of coffee, which he said is the best cup of coffee that he's ever had. And if you were to ask my opinion on that, I would say that he's right, because we're 3 Americans who are in a really weird business and have a really weird passion and drive, and we got taken to a very obscure place, and we could have been completely lost and desperate and scared. And I'm usually a little bit past that these days, but it's a scary situation sometimes, being somewhere that out of your wheelhouse or that out of your comfort zone. So if I am allowed to come into somebody's life and somebody's family environment, and their dad wants to make me a cup of coffee, well then yeah, for all intents and purposes, that's the best goddamn cup of coffee I had all year, was Nick's dad's cup of coffee. And all the kids we met and trained were young and hungry, and they have dreams, but they maybe didn't have a lot of opportunity to chase them like some other people have been afforded that privilege in other parts of the world. So the fact that we were there to bring something like that to them wasn't lost on them, and their kindness spoke volumes. There aren't a lot of places anymore that I think I can't wait to come back here, because there's so many places in the world and I want to go to all of them, and I have been to 40 countries now, and there are 150 plus more that I need to make it to. So I usually don't try to book return trips, because there's so many new places I haven't been yet, and so many cool people I haven't met yet, and so many people's stories I don't know yet. But I am going to be looking for how I can get back to Bulgaria as soon as possible, because I want to see the Eltos and the Nicks and the Kobes and the Giulianos and the Teodors and the Angels and the Linas and everybody, and Nick's dad, like all the people, Johan, all the guys and girls that were just awesome to us, You know, I want to see all those guys and girls again. And I want to see the progress they make, and I want to see the passion they have. And in a few months, if I go, and it's not lost on me. So after the year they spend training, when they have that first event, man, I really want to be at that first event. I want to be there for them to make history. And I want to be a part of history. Even though Jack, Aaron, and I are already going to be a little part of their history, because what we're helping them with is foundational stuff that the entire scene will have going forward. And the stuff we taught them in our 3 days is stuff that they might be teaching for the next 30 years or 40 years of the duration of the entire company, or wrestling in Bulgaria for the future. And sometimes I wonder what took me so long to get to these places, but it was opportunity on our end too, because it's the very first wrestling school in Bulgaria, and there was nothing else there to take us to Bulgaria. And the fact that they messaged Jack when they were in the planning stages was just kismet. It was fate that we were supposed to end up there, and we we're supposed to meet these people. And I genuinely can't wait to return, Sofia.